I'm Kelly and this is Kelly Hill Yoga. Today I have a nourishing flow for you all. We are going to get moving on our mats and just embrace this idea that we have the power within us all to provide nourishment, reset ourselves, and re-energize. So today we will start seated on our mat. You can have two blocks handy if you would like, not 100% necessary. I know we all don't have access to those things, but just if sometimes if you want to provide that ground to be a little bit closer to the hands or your own little props, I will offer it along the way if you wish. And let's just come to a nice seated position here as we bring ourselves into this space and start this beautiful practice today. So let us take a moment to kind of get situated here, get all those little shimmies and shakes out, all that fidgeting aside, maybe even take the shoulders and round them a few times, maybe roll the neck a little bit, and then let yourself get settled in. And let's close the eyes here. And let's take 3 wonderful waterfall breaths here. So I will walk you through it. We're just going to take these 3 breaths so that we can kind of cleanse the mind and detach from any distractions outside of our space, or even sometimes if they're in the room with us, especially when we're at home, not so easily to turn all of it off and get that really quiet state. So just gently bring yourself to your breath, bring your awareness there, and we'll inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Last one. Inhale through the nose. Pause at the top. Exhale, sigh it out. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Take this time, these few moments here to check in, just noticing any sensations going on, any feelings that arise. And if you can, try and calm the mind as best that you can. Know that it's okay if your thoughts are still all over the place. That is the joy of this practice today, is to provide that clarity through movement. And anything that arises, show compassion to it, without judgment, without trying to label it, thinking you should feel a certain way. And just be. Our bodies are amazing at knowing what to do. They provide our energy, our movements, has the ability to adapt to any environment, adapt to illness, adapt to stresses. So just showing a little appreciation over this moment to any feelings, sensations that you have, and knowing that is just a part of you. It is okay. We are all human. Getting into a little connection here with breath and body. Let's take our hands. If you still like, you can keep those eyes still closed, and we'll bring them down to our sides. And as we inhale, we'll reach those arms up and overhead. Exhale, flip those hands so then the palms come down towards your mat here, and slowly exhale down. So inhale, we reach up, palms flip up. Exhale, flip those hands, let the arms cascade down, like we're creating this little snow angel while we sit. Lift and lengthen with that inhale, build with that breath. Exhale, sigh it out, let go, let go, let go. And repeat. Let's do 2 more times. Just waking up a little bit, getting our energy levels up. Reach one more time to the top, and we'll pause here at the top of this next inhale and then gently reach up and over to the right just to get a little stretch in that left side body. Slowly come back to center as we inhale, exhale over to the left now, getting a stretch in the right side body so that right hip really wants to ground down. Make sure that heart is lifted towards the sky. Inhale back to center here, and then we'll exhale over to the right, this time a twist. So just gently taking our body, and we're still a little cold in our spine, so we're waking up through natural range of motion. So we don't want to deepen this twist too much, just waking up a bit. Inhale back to center, reach those arms up and overhead. Exhale, take it over to the left now. Keep that heart lifted, that length in the spine. Gently come back to center here, and we'll make our way to tabletop. A few rounds of cat and cow, just taking this idea of waking up the spine, waking up our energy levels and building on it. So our hands are underneath our shoulders, our knees are underneath our hips here. And as we inhale, instead of doing a dynamic cow here, we're going to hold this cow for 2 breaths. So we inhale, let that belly get really soft, let that tailbone lift up towards the sky, shoulder blades tuck towards those back pockets. And then slowly exhale. Take this into a little counter move here. Come into your cat, chin towards the sternum, belly button towards the spine, and you round through that spine as much as you can. Hold here. And notice the sensation in your belly right now. So you're really letting that belly get concave here. And repeat. This time we'll start to connect breath and body. So we come into cow. Exhale, round through cat. Continue this dynamic movement just for a few rounds. You may add to it. You may build upon it. Any little organic movement that might feel super awesome right now. A little swish of the hips from side to side you can do. Maybe take the gaze over that left shoulder. Take the gaze over the right shoulder. One more round wherever you're at. And come back to that neutral spine here. All right, adding on to that, we are going to inhale, once again, come into cow here. And as we do so, let's tuck our toes, getting ready, little variation. So watch me if you need. As we exhale, we'll come into cat here, tuck that chin towards the sternum, really activate in that midsection. And as you pull that belly button towards the spine, the knees will come up. Coming into this strong, powerful core-centric pose. Inhale back to cow. Belly soft, stretch that belly that we just activated. Let's do this 2 more times. As we exhale, tuck the toes, lift the knees. Inhale back to cow. One more time. Come into that cat, lift a knee variation, and we'll hold here for a moment. Hands firmly pressed into our mat, fingers spread well. One more inhale. Exhale, stay. And then we'll come into that cow last time. Stretch that belly out. Awesome. Now, coming back through, tucking the toes, shift up into our first downward dog of the practice. Adjust if need be. Adjust those hands, adjust the feet. Maybe you're super tight in the back of the legs, so you want to take your downward dog a little bit wider to start the practice out, and then kind of work your way to a narrower stance, or you can keep that wide stance if you wish. This is your practice, your choice. Let's find a little bit of movement here to work yourself into this downward dog. It doesn't have to be this straight staccato, one pose to the other. the fluidity in your practice, just noticing sensations, being okay with no matter what happens, no matter where we're at today, if we're a little bit tight or if we're feeling amazing, just being okay. All right, big inhale here. And as we exhale, we'll come into plank here, holding this strong plank. You can do this from your knees. And big, strong inhale to press that mat away. Activate that belly and midsection. Exhale, knee to elbow. Left knee to left elbow. Beautiful. Back to plank. This time taking it to the other side. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Back to plank. Repeat this 2 more times on each side. So that knee to elbow. With the exhale, inhale, back to plank. Last time on this right side, back to that plank. Hold here. 1 more breath. I know you have that capability. Exhale, slowly lower ourselves all the way down to the belly. Inhale, lift ourselves to a little baby cobra. Stretch that belly out. Exhale, roll back down to the belly here. Slowly make your way back into downward dog. Getting ready to get into some beautiful movement here. Inhale, we'll reach our right leg up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chin here and step between the hands with control. It's totally okay if you have to help that hand out and walk it up a little bit. So let's think train tracks with our feet here. Nice wide stance to provide more stability. We're in this runner's lunge. Drop those hips down, let them get nice and heavy here. Inhale, we'll rise up to crescent or our high lunge. Left hip pulls forward, sinking into this pose. And take a minute here, bend that back knee just a little bit. And then take that back heel, that left heel, and drive it towards the back of your space now, opening up the front of that left hip even more. Exhale, open up to a twist here. So we're twisting over to the right. Left hand comes forward, right hand comes back. And then take this left hand, keeping our arms just how they are. Our left hand will come down to our mat into an easy twist here. Right hand is lifted. Remembering to breathe, keep those hips beautiful and open. Right hand comes down. We're back to our runner's lunge. Frame this front foot and lift your hips back as we exhale to come into an extended pyramid here. This is a great place to grab those blocks, just to bring that earth a little bit closer to your hands here. So you'd have the blocks on either side of this front foot, placing your hands there. You choose your height. Holding here, imagine somebody has their hands on either side of your hips and they're just gently guiding them back. Beautiful. Rebend in that front knee here. Drop our back foot. Rise up to warrior two. Adjust if need be. Take a gaze down. Sometimes we rush through our poses and feel like we need to take the time. I know I get there where you just kind of take a look. I know we think we feel a certain way, and I always do say sensation over shape, but just taking a gaze, looking at our alignment a little bit, helping ourselves out if need be. All right, back to this warrior two. Flip that front palm. We'll inhale, reach up and overhead. Peaceful warrior here. Pause here though. Beautiful stretch in this right side body. Our front knee is still bent. Exhale. Coming back to our warrior two, through it and into side angle here. Remember to breathe. Inhale, come back into that peaceful warrior. And when we come into it this time, straighten in this front leg, lengthening that right side body even more. And this time, we'll transition into our triangle. So reach that right hand forward and then down, left hand reaches up. Have that wall or imaginary wall behind us, trying to get everything to touch that wall. Stay for that inhale. Exhale, bring everything back down, reframing this front foot. And we'll do a big hop forward into a forward fold. So our left foot comes to meet the right. Grab those elbows. Sway from side to side if you wish. Let that crown of the head really release down. Come back to that intention, that connection, that self-nourishment, self-healing that our body is doing right now. Our heart is above our head. So our body is adjusting to that right now, boosting circulation, without us having to ask for it, right? How amazing and powerful is that? Our body is just doing all this wonderful work, all this wonderful healing, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Release that elbows or release your ragdoll. Inhale to halfway lift here, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway, lift again, 2 more times. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, halfway lift. And instead of just pausing here for a moment, we're going to hold this for 3 breaths. Just really work on that alignment, work on that lengthening of the spine. Crown of the head reaches away from that tailbone. Gaze straight down here, so we're keeping our cervical spine nice and neutral. And then exhale, let go, let go, let go. Bend in those knees, press into your mat. We'll rise up to a beautiful Tadasana. Reach those arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to our heart here. Pause for a moment. Maybe roll those shoulders up towards the ears, down and away again. Sweep the arms up and overhead again. Exhale, fold forward. Follow that breath down. Inhale to halfway lift here. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands. Step back to plank. Press the mat away as we inhale. Go through a flow if you would like. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. If that's in your practice, you can skip this. This is your practice. If you're feeling a little fatigued, skip it. If you want to feel a little bit more of a stronger practice, rock it out twice if you want. This is your practice. Like I said, I'm just here to guide you along the way. Back in our downward dog. One beautiful breath here. And then we'll inhale, lift that left leg up. Exhale, step the left hand or left foot between the hands. Runner's lunge. Drop those hips down and forward here. Set the feet up. Inhale, rise to our crescent or our high lunge. Gently bend that back knee a little bit here, dropping it down, and then see if you can take that right heel and drive it towards the back of your space, opening up the front side of this right hip even more. If that is too intense, you can lift up out of this just a bit. Stay for that inhale to find some length in our spine. Exhale, twist. So taking that right hand forward, left hand back. Gaze, find a focus, a little area to focus on here. Keep our hands just how they are. Right hand comes down, left hand lifts. Easy twist. Sink those hips down here, keeping our hips beautiful and open. Left hand will come down to frame this front foot, extended triangle. So exhale to shift those hips back, straightening out this front leg. And when we say straight in yoga, it's usually a relative term here, okay? So we are not locking our joint out. Keep that slight activation, that slight micro bend in that joint. Visualize those hips being gently guided back. Rebend in this front leg back to our runner's lunge. Drop that back heel down, rise up to warrior two. Take your gaze out right in front of that middle finger of that left hand here. And if the shoulders have started to creep up towards the ears, let's take an exhale and just gently let them lower down. Flip our front palm. Inhale as we come into peaceful warrior here. Keep that front knee bent. Lengthen both sides of the body here, so we're not dumping our weight in this right hand supported on our straightened leg. We have full activation, both feet, both sides of the body. Building that kinesthetic awareness. Back to warrior two here, coming through it into our side angle. So that left forearm will rest on that left leg. You can take this a little bit deeper if you want. Right hand reaches up and overhead or just up towards the sky. Just find what feels good. Find some length in this right side body. Inhale, come into peaceful warrior. This time, straightening that front leg, lengthening in that left side body. Now transition to that triangle. So we'll reach forward in our left hand and then bring it down to rest either on that shin, ankle, or mat as our right hand reaches up. If you do want to play around with your balance a little bit here, challenge yourself, you may take that gaze up towards that right thumb. If that just makes you feel all wonky, you're more than welcome to have that gaze down on your mat to help ground you a little bit here. Still breathing, soothing ourselves, self-healing with the breath. Exhale, sweep everything down here, back into our runner's lunge. Left foot comes back to plank. You can do this on your knees. You may do a flow if you'd like, or we'll just meet in downward dog. Your choice here. Back in this wonderful downward dog. Stay here. One more strong, powerful breath. And as we inhale, pull those hips back. Pull that heart towards the thighs. Exhale, let the knees come down to our tabletop. And then we'll make our way to seated here. Let's set up to do our little zombie roll here. Just a little name I gave this random little movement I like to do at the end of my poses. We have the soles of our feet on our mat here. Lift our heart, lift the crown of the head. And just like when we come into boat pose, we have activation in our midsection here, and we shift just off the sit bones here. So you're on this bony part of your pelvis, and if you shift just back, notice that activation come into play in our midsection. Reach the arms forward, and now we are slowly going to roll ourselves back. With control, remember to breathe. Slowly make our way onto our back. Then we'll get a big, beautiful, full body stretch. Stretch that belly out. Exhale, bring the knees into the chest here. Apanasana, my favoriteest pose. I just love the beautiful compression on my belly. You're giving yourself a hug. How awesome is that? Who doesn't want a hug? You can do it to yourself. This self-nourishment, right? This self-healing through our practice today. And then just gently keep that left knee into the chest here. Extend that right leg long and walk that left knee over to the right for a little twist here. You can take that left hand, reach it out to the left. And if that left foot is kind of just hanging there, you can take that foot and support it by letting it rest on the inside of your straightened leg. So on the inside of that right thigh, creating like this little triangle with your left knee here. Slowly come back to center. Hop the hips if you have to. Re-straightening in the spine. Knees back into the chest, neutralize. And rock out the other side. So that right knee will stay in, left leg extends. And then walk this right knee over to the left here. Support it if need be by having that foot rest on the inside of that lengthened leg. Really just let this be passive. So give up to gravity, give up to these forces, surrender to this moment. Slowly roll back onto that spine here. If you want, before we come into our final pose, you can finish with a happy baby or a variation. If you want to grab those big toes, you can grab the outside of the feet, or the back of the thighs can feel really good too. If your hands just can't quite make it to the feet, that's okay. Or I welcome you at this time to do any last little posture or pose that might just be knocking on the door. Like, oh man, I really could use a plow pose or a shoulder stand. Or I'm not feeling happy baby today. I'm skipping it. You do you. All right, let's release that happy baby. Extend the legs. Come into our final pose here, our Savasana. And I invite you to play around here with your arms, with your legs. If you want to have those feet nice and close, walk the legs a little bit wider, you can. Hands over the belly, the chest, one over the chest, one over the belly. Just play around, okay? Find what feels good. It might change from something you might have done in your last practice, and it might change in your next practice. So just really keep that connection going. Breath, body, mind, spirit, just listening to where we're at. We will walk ourselves into this final pose here with those 3 waterfall breaths again. So inhale through the nose. Really fill yourself with that breath. Exhale, sigh it out. 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. Create as much space as you can. Exhale, sigh it out. Wonderful. Last one here. Inhale through the nose. Maybe even let that rib cage expand from side to side, forward and back. Filling yourself with as much love from this cosmic world as we can. Hold at the top. Exhale, letting go, letting go, letting go. Sinking into this posture. Sink into your mat, the earth. Completely safe and supported. Allow yourself to be safe and supported in this moment. Permission to be here. Permission to feel, be aware. And take these next moments here, and I want you to embrace yourself with love. We just pulled all that energy in, pulled all that love in, so embrace it. Just as someone you love embraces you. that beautiful sensation that comes with that embrace, that love, that support. Give it to yourself over these next few moments. Let it soothe you, comfort, calm. You are more than welcome to stay here. In fact, I highly encourage it. If you're at home and nobody has come to bother you yet, stay here. Enjoy this feeling, this quiet, as long as you can. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, the love and light you bring into every practice, the wonderful feedback I get from you all. Please do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, let me know what you thought of this nourishing practice today. Truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.